Oh, well, I mean, at least it wasn't that bad. Maybe the next game won't be all that bad. Hello, everybody. Disappointment here. Oh!
But something about Sonic 2 just feels like the perfect classic Sonic game to me. I really don't know why.
Sonic Adventure 2 will always be one of my favorite games in the franchise. Why did you make me do this? You're not delaying, so you can see all of the fans die. Think, Sonic! You could have outlasted every single platformer on the market. You could have been a revolution. What will you have after 15 years?
Sonic 06. Does it even need an introduction? Even if you're not a Sonic fan, you probably know exactly what this game is. From its absolutely disastrous development, having this game rushed just so it could arrive on Sonic's 15th birthday, causing this promising game that everybody was excited for back in 2006 to come out very low quality and being one of the first and famous examples of a disaster in the video game industry, being one of the most infamous games in the Sonic franchise and just in the general gaming industry. There is a lot I could go into in the development, but really, I'm scared of this video being an hour long, even though it will be. And chances are, you probably already know the story, and if you don't, I highly recommend you check out Mac McMuscle's What Happened on Sonic 06. I think it's a very informative video, and it gets down and dirty with all the problems during the development. All you need to know for the sake of this review is that shit was rough during development, shit's about to get rough here. But is maybe the game is the game gonna be has the game aged?
Let's just nitpick Sonic 06 for the Xbox 360.
Let's start with a story summary, and hey, wait a minute, I didn't know Final Fantasy VII Remake worked on my Xbox 360. Yeah, I know, original joke, but this cutscene does look gorgeous, but I'm sorry, this cutscene doesn't make me think of Sonic, it makes me think of Final Fantasy, and I barely have played any Final Fantasy games. So a festival called Festival of the Sun is upon the city of Soliana when the princess, the host of the festival, sees a vision of a monster destroying the city. But before she has time to process it, the festival gets interrupted by an attack from the mischievous Dr. Eggman, with Sonic whirling in, and can I just say one quick positive, because there won't be many? This is such a good intro for Sonic. Something is going down and you don't see any sign of him coming up or scoping it out. He just whooshes in and starts beating up bad guys and saves the girl with no question. No thinking, but leaves time for a quick remark and then bam, gone. One of the perfect introductions to a Sonic game right there, in my opinion. Just perfect. If this game's reputation wasn't so bad, this really would be an iconic moment. Anyway, well, after that pretty CGI cutscene, let's get into the actual in-game stuff. But, we'll get into that during the presentation segment. For now, though, Elise has been taken by Eggman, and he flies away in the Egg Fleet, and Sonic, you can chase after Sonic! Okay, now that we have the intro done, now is a good time to say I will be trying to combine all 3 episodes together, though keep in mind, I will not be doing a full-ass critique of the story, because again, I'm scared of this video being an hour long, even, and frankly, I don't give enough of a shit. So let's head back, but also for, time travel! We head to the future with a new character, Silver, who is living in a desolate city with fire and a monster named Iblis, and runs into this character named Mephiles.
Hail, Mephiles.
Did you not hear that? What? I'm not paying paying attention. I'm just sitting waiting for my turn.
Who claims to know who caused the city's destruction? Our blue boy Sonic over here. So with Silver sent to the past and eventually getting tied up with Amy, Sonic is chasing down Eggman trying to rescue Elise. And no lie, we save her. We have a little moment about running from your problems. Cool. Run in with Silver and she's captured again. Within an hour and some change, she has been captured twice. Anyway, so we find Knuckles holding a Pokedex that has a message from Eggman on it, demanding a Chaos Emerald in return for Princess Elise. Of course, he was lying.
What? No way.
So Team Sonic is sent to the future, to Silver's desolate city, and we meet up with Shadow and Rouge, who were also sent here by Mephiles during Shadow's episode. So together, Sonic and Shadow find 2 Chaos Emeralds, and after a very slow boss fight with Iblis, we head back to the present, and Sonic is an absolute dick.
Shadow and Rouge go. Did they appear someplace else?
Those two can take care of themselves.
But Shadow stayed behind, in the future to deal with Mephiles, and with the help of the returning Omega, Shadow heads back to the present, and he decides to go and track down Eggman. Meanwhile, Sonic is also chasing after Eggman and Elise, with Silver tracking Sonic back down after a brief thought about whether killing Sonic was the right idea. But Silver doesn't have much of a choice, so tries to destroy Sonic this time, while Elise is captured yet again. So Shadow deals with Silver this time, while Sonic chases after Elise. Very stupidly, I might add, falls down off the ship to get away from Eggman, but thankfully, Sonic was there to save her, making this about, I don't know, the 4th time we saved her? Actually, it's 3. But then, guess what happens? Guess what happens? She lets herself get captured again just because the Egg Fleet is all big and scary, so she turns herself in. Okay, let's head back to Shadow and Silver and see how their boss fight turned out.
Chaos control.
Oh, magnificent. So Shadow and Silver both go on a trip to the past to discover what happened 10 years ago. And see, I would worry about that, but what I am more worried about is why does this father have an ATM on his chest? Mephiles and Iblis separate and get away, so Shadow and Silver split up to seal them, with Shadow sealing Mephiles in the Scepter of Darkness, and the dad sealing Iblis into his daughter with the condition she cannot cry. I'll deal with this later. Now Silver meets up with Sonic, who is chasing down the Egg Fleet, and helps Sonic save her. Meanwhile, Shadow meets up with Rouge, and we have to find a new scepter. I was told it was at this statue, but I'm not sure how to get to it. Maybe I should ask this lovely fellow here. Let's see. Those were candle holders used for lighting a long time ago. It would be nice to light them, wouldn't it? This man right here with his stupid face just asked me to light the damn candles again. He looked me right in the eye and told me to light those damn candles. You think you've won this one? I know where you live. Anyway, where was I? So Sonic and Silver rush to the Egg Fleet, and they don't make it in time. So they travel back to when the Egg Fleet first took off, and Silver travels back to the future to stop Iblis. Later, Sonic hops aboard and saves Elise, and Silver stops Iblis, sealing Iblis in Blaze and sending her to another dimension. Shadow, meeting up with Mephiles, uses the Scepter of Darkness to seal him, but turns out it doesn't work. I'm so shocked. So Shadow spouts out a really cool line and takes his rings off and boosts through all the Mephiles clones, ending all of the story and waiting for the last story, which as usual, we'll get to at the end. Alright, so I know I rushed over this story and I skipped over a bit, but I'm sorry, I do not care in the slightest. Why should I? This story is stupid, and I'm going to give you a good amount of points as to why I think it's stupid, and believe me, this is coming from someone who actually liked the story to a degree. I knew there were problems with it, but I didn't outright dislike it, but now I do. There are so many goddamn plot holes and plot points that make literally no sense, and I'm going to go through them point by point. So first off, let's start off with something small. Why does Silver and Blaze go to the future to destroy Iblis, when we've already established that the reason why we're trying to save Elise is to not cause Crisis City, which in turn, saving her and stopping her death, which will change Silver's future. In fact, Sonic outright says it before they go. So all Silver and Blaze have to do is just sit and wait.
I'll make sure to change Elise's fate. And that in turn
should change your future too.
There's no point in any of this, and especially making Blaze's sacrifice completely pointless because of the price she is paying doesn't need to be paid. Sure, I got emotional at the death and everything, but then I had to stop and think what Blaze was actually giving up, and it's literally nothing, because Sonic is going to prevent Crisis City. And I know what a lot of you are saying right now. Well, two things at least. First, they did for story purposes and Silver's final boss. Yeah, I get it, but why not just take down Iblis and forget the whole ceiling thing? Because Iblis won't exist soon. If they wanted to take down Iblis just so the story felt complete, then that would be fine. Why throw Blaze's sacrifice into this? And the other thing y'all are saying, that was a small critique? Oh, believe me, compared to everything else I'm about to say, this is insignificant. Such as, how does Mephiles know Shadow was going to steal him in the scepter? Did it happen in the past timeline before Shadow goes back in time to the accident? Or what I think they are implying, which is that Mephiles is hailing from that past and getting revenge on Shadow when Shadow hasn't done it yet in this timeline, therefore making those events not occur yet. So Mephiles would not know about it, and if he did, why the hell is he mad at Shadow if, again, he hasn't done it yet? You should be mad at the one who actually shielded you, which brings me to my next question. Who originally sealed Mephiles and Iblis? Because if they are implying that Shadow and Silver went back in time to the event and sealed them 10 years ago, like we ourselves are seeing in the game, and that's where the story takes place, then that would imply that if they didn't do that, Mephiles and Iblis would have gotten away, making the world possibly under control of them, meaning this entire game does not happen. And or, if Mephiles and Iblis did get away, but got resealed by, I don't know, Elise's dad, then Iblis and Mephiles would have most likely escaped the base they are holding them in, judging by the shape of the soldiers after the explosion. So the future that Shadow and Silver changed by sealing Mephiles and Iblis earlier while they are still in the base would make a drastically different future than what we see in the game post Shadow and Silver's time travel. Not to mention, another reason why I think they are implying that the game is taking place post Shadow and Silver's time travel is because of the Chaos Emerald Elise has at the beginning of the story. Because during that time travel, Silver gives that very same emerald to Elise as a lucky charm because he feels bad about what Elise has to go through, which I will get into in a second. So what I think the game is trying to imply is that Elise has it because of Silver. Therefore, Shadow is the one that sealed Mephiles because he went back in time with Silver. These two timelines should not mix at all. Oh, but that's not all I have to whine about, because I counted huge time paradoxes besides this, and by my calculations, the universe should have collapsed. Let's start with this one for starters. So after Shadow stays behind in the future to take care of Mephiles, Rouge finds Omega and gives him a Chaos Emerald from the future and a reactivation program so he can assist Shadow, meaning that the Omega that saves Shadow is future Omega. Okay, so A, holding a Chaos Emerald all the way into the future would most likely be impossible and is a huge paradox in and of itself, and B, future Omega comes back with Shadow to the present, meaning there are two Omegas in the same timeline right now. But see, that's nothing, because compared to what they do next is destructive. So when Shadow and Sonic head back to the present after getting two Chaos Emeralds, they bring the Chaos Emeralds back with them that they got from the future, meaning that there are 9 Chaos Emeralds. The timeline is only meant to handle 7. With that amount of energy, the universe would have most likely collapsed. Dead. But that one, maybe they could survive and get away with that. But what Silver does is devastating. When Shadow and Silver travel back to the past to the Solaris project, Silver leaves a Chaos Emerald with Elise in the past 10 years ago. That means that the world had 8 Chaos Emeralds in the span of 10 years. If someone got a hold of Elise's Chaos Emerald, which, let's face it, they most likely would have, can you imagine the amount of paradoxes that can be made with this? Like if Sonic turned super during that time for any reason with the 8 Chaos Emeralds during that 10-year period, that in itself is a time paradox. Or hell, what about the villains? If Eggman found out about this, who knows what he would have done? Not to mention the scientists. Christ, literally anything could happen with more than 7 Chaos Emeralds in one timeline, because if 7 Chaos Emeralds are powerful enough, who knows what 8 could do? But then we have by far the stupidest oversight in any story, and that has nothing to do with time travel, nothing to do with the pointless sacrifices, but the act of the father sealing Iblis within Elise with the condition that Elise must never cry or else Iblis will be released. How the fuck Do you expect me to believe that this girl lasted her entire life without crying, with her dad dead and the stress of ruling a kingdom? Oh, and nothing big or anything, but literally holding the destruction of humanity in her? Look, I don't care who you are, male or female, strong or weak. You cry. We all do. And if you say you don't, you do. Everyone does. So this game trying to convince me that a little girl through her entire life did not cry once in her entire life? What, did the dad dying and the stress of the kingdom not count? Did Iblis let it slide? He was just like, okay, your dad dying and the stress? Okay, that's fine. I'll let you slide on this one. But anything else? It's Fire City, baby! Oh, and you, Mephiles. I have something to say about your character later, but what I will say is, why are you sending Silver to destroy Sonic to make Elise cry when you can do it yourself, no problem? You're more powerful than Silver is. You can handle a blue hedgehog, and with you being a villain, you must obviously know that. Why waste your time manipulating Silver? Just get it done yourself, you lazy prick. Oh, that was a lot to take in. But now let's get into another problem I have with the story, but it's not a plot hole, it's just fucking stupid. The relationship between Sonic and Elise. I don't feel right. This feels like bestiality. It's weird. I don't like it. Moving on. Oh, okay, I had to go sit down for a minute. Okay, alright, so let's calm down for just a minute. Let's discuss characterization, and I think this is possibly where the most amount of effort and finished effort at that went. Because I think Sonic and Shadow are written the best here than ever before. Minus the relationship between Sonic and Elise, Sonic has really grown as a character, and I feel that's reflected here. He's still cool and laid back, but he's also damn inspiring with the amount of quotes this game has. But the character who got the most development was Shadow. Continuing after Shadow the Hedgehog, he has completely thrown out Maria and has moved on, and I think he's grown because of it. Sure, you could argue that he's more of a one-note character now, but personally, I don't think so. He has a fresh new start and completely different. And you know, people have said in the past that Shadow should have died in Sonic Adventure 2, but in my opinion, he did. Because this Shadow is completely different than the one that was in Sonic Adventure 2, and honestly, I believe that's more powerful than him staying dead. So honestly, I think he's great because of it. I think Shadow the Hedgehog just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth about the character, but I still like him even though I hated the game and its writing that was trying way too hard. But let's get into the new characters, Elise and Silver. One I want to defend, and one I want to add fuel to the fire. I don't care who you are, I like Silver. Silver is probably the most misunderstood Sonic character in the entire franchise, because when this game came out, and even today, people really hate how Silver was so gullible to believe in Mephiles, and I'm sorry, I think everyone is wrong about that, and if you disagree, I have to ask you to imagine yourself in his position. Really think about where he is. He has been living in a desolate city, constantly fighting Iblis over and over and over again, and it's at this critical moment where Mephiles uses his manipulation. All Silver wants is to destroy Iblis. He doesn't care anymore. He wants his city saved. He's tired, so he's looking for that hope, and Mephiles manipulated him at the right place and time to give him a completely plausible response. Silver is a naive kid, and I think we can all agree on that, but he's not fucking stupid. He's just naive and just doesn't see the red flags easily when he's like this. Completely devoid of hope and filled up with frustration and looking for that last spark. And according to Mephiles, who has successfully manipulated him, he found it. Now, I defend Silver, but I wish I could defend Elise, but I can't. There's nothing about her I like. Nothing. She is genuinely a really unlikable character. She is an emotionless rock that has no bearings on anything at all and is just there to be damsel in distress. And before you say about her stupid backstory, I don't care. Her backstory is stupid anyways, therefore I have no connection. She gets caught 4 times through the entire game, and the campaign took me 4 hours to complete. That's 1 time per hour. And one of those times she turns herself in with barely any hesitation, only because Eggman was threatening her with his ice cream Egg Fleet. Lady, you have Iblis inside you. Yeah, you may be rescuing your town, but you're giving Eggman the means to destroy the whole world. Ugh. You know, I'm going to do this. I went on your mom's Facebook to ask a certain Sonic the Hedgehog community about positive things about Elise, and let's just see what they said. Alright, so how many responses did I get? Oh, jeez, 15. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, yeah, she's the best damsel in distress ever. Oh you know what? I agree. I like her in every aspect. Every aspect, they say. The one part where she throws herself off Eggman's machine knowing Sonic will catch her was cool, to be honest. No, she didn't.
Sonic!
Chris Thorndike and Elise Soliana are the only true pairing of the Sonic series. Oh yeah, annoying kid, annoying girl. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh wait, also, annoying adult girl, annoying kid. So, her design is really cool. Is it? That whole thing about not crying is also cool. Again, is it? And like said above the part where she throws herself off Eggman's machine because she knew Sonic would catch her was honestly like one of the best moments in 06. Again, she didn't know! Really, had 06 not include that kiss, I think people would have liked Elise a lot more because I actually think she's a great character with a lot of untapped potential. Well, the fact that I haven't brought up the kiss yet because that's in the last story and I still hate her, yeah, I don't think so. Her design. Again. What? No. She's cute. Again. What? She's got a nice voice. No?
I'm so happy.
Pretty brave for young Sovereign that has to endure being kidnapped by a man with a robot army while a blue anthropomorphic hedgehog tries to rescue her. I have to debate with you on that, I'm sorry. She makes Peach being kidnapped not as annoying. I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. Good design except for her odd colored legging. Again, what? What? She was a fun character. Fun? She was fun? The only negative was she was always kidnapped. The only negative, they say. Her jumping off the ship was neat. Again, she didn't know! All in-game cutscenes looked rough. No kidding. Sonic 06 is actually great. Cute design. Again, what do you see? Honestly, she came across as a lonely girl with a crush on the big hero that saved her. For like 10 seconds? Not that different to Amy. If they changed her species from human to Moby and Anthro, I think a lot of criticism directed towards her wouldn't have happened. Again, I mean, yes, you're sort of right. I mean, it would have helped with the whole, you know, like, her being, like, with Sonic and everything. It would have made it a little less, like, awkward and whatever, but that doesn't change the fact that the character is just a complete waste of brick. But now, let's discuss the new villain, Mephiles. Mephiles is a joke. He's a fucking fanfiction come to life. Like, seriously, Mephiles the Dark, a being resurrected through the shadow of Shadow? Oh my god, give me a break. Dan Green does a good performance, which we'll get into later, but a good performance doesn't help with his shit character. All I could think of while looking at him was just fanfiction, fanfiction, fanfiction. Like, seriously, what's next? A character named Cernak the Light? I don't fucking know. I swear, this game is getting worse and worse, and we haven't even got to the gameplay yet!
How long is this gonna go on?